right, Black and White Network supporters. Well, it's Monday, and you know what that means. Chicago. That's right, Chicago weekend. The shootings that happened in the Chicago area, 20 got shot. As of right now, only one has actually died from getting shot, but I don't see a world in which I would ever be celebrating 20 people getting shot in any one location, right? I mean, Brandon Johnson is somewhere probably taking a victory lap. It wouldn't shock me because somehow, some way, these people have justified this normalcy of this war zone that happens every week. You know, we only talk about the weekends, but, you know, people are getting shot during the week as well. We wouldn't want to offend the criminals now, would we? Well, don't call those kids the mob. They're just blowing off a little steam. Good old wholesome kids. Yeah. Wholesome. Salt of the earth kids. Carrying Tech 9s. Blowing your ass away while you're driving to Walmart. As I'm going to do with a lot of these videos coming up that I do on this channel, I've got a little something extra that I'm going to bring to the table, and this has to do with Chicago as well. Because it seems like a great idea, and I don't blame these suburban communities that are around Chicago for having done this, but they are passing ordinances to combat the busload of immigrants. In the past few days, Brandon Johnson is slapping these bus companies with fines if they bus in migrants and just let them out. So, as you can imagine, they were going to start busing them to suburb locations. Now, these suburb locations said, we're not going to have that. So, they have now passed ordinances against being able to just drop some off. Here's a video right here of, they're getting back on the bus. Or are they getting off the bus? It looks like they're getting back. They're getting back on the bus. Two Chicago suburbs rejected busload of immigrants that arrived from El Paso, Texas over the past week as the city and Illinois as a whole continue to face an influx of illegal immigrants from the southern border. Several buses arrived at metro stations in Cicero, Illinois and Rosemont, Illinois, near the O'Hare International Airport remote parking area. According to the Chicago Tribune, Rosemont police allowed the immigrants to get off the bus if there was someone picking them up, but officers threatened to impound the bus and arrest the driver for endangering passengers if they let them out, Mayor Brad Stevens said. So now the suburbs are having to get out there and pass ordinances because, well, of course, they're going to try to drop off illegals wherever else they can do it. Now, you may be wondering, what is this, Rhodes? Well, this is a map of where the shootings in Chicago took place over the weekend. Look, if you're in Chicago, just build a border wall right through here. Yeah, and put up one of those, like, Jurassic Park electrified King Kong kind of walls. And then the rest of the city can go about their business and conduct their affairs without having to eat a bullet while they're running down to the local In-N-Out burger. Friday, the first shooting of the weekend, 75th 100 block of South Wentworth Avenue, 5:37 p.m., a 64-year-old man. Wow, okay. Was in the backyard of a residence when he suffered a gunshot wound to the lower back by an unknown offender. He was taken to the University of Chicago Hospital in fair condition. A 64-year-old man was in the backyard. I mean, do you garden in Chicago? I mean, what? At 5:37 p.m. when people that are responsible are actually driving home from their jobs. Instead of driving home from a job, some dude's out there blasting shots. That's crazy. Okay. 64-year-old man. That's nuts. Oh, that is out of control. At 4:57 p.m., this is on Saturday, in the 6900 block of South Paxton Avenue, a 54-year-old man was on the sidewalk. I don't know what it is about Chicagoans and hanging out on the sidewalk. When he was shot in the left arm by an unknown offender, the victim was taken to the University of Chicago Hospital in good condition. Looks like we got a 2-for-1 right here, folks. At 10:03, 1100 block of South State Street, two men, 20 and 25, were on a stationary CTA red line train, causing a disturbance when a male offender fired shots. The 20-year-old was taken to Stroger in good condition with a gunshot wound to the right shoulder. The 25-year-old was taken by CFD to Northwestern in critical condition with multiple gunshot wounds. A weapon was recovered. A person of interest is questioned. Area 3 detectives are investigating the circumstances surrounding the incident. So what I wonder is if that happened on this CTA red line train, is it possible the 20-year-old and the 25-year-old were starting something with somebody that was carrying? And maybe, just maybe, they actually acted in self-defense? I don't know. And guys, we got a couple of terrible ones in this one. Just awful. And I don't know why in the world anybody, maybe you were going home from going to the movies. I don't know. At 12:40 a.m., 8700 block of South Marquette Avenue, a 13-year-old boy was a passenger in a car when an occupant in a gold Kia SUV fired shots. The victim was taken to Trinity Hospital, was transferred to Comer's Children's Hospital in serious condition with a gunshot wound to the chest. Wow. And then 9:30 a.m. on a Sunday morning, I don't get it. A 14-year-old boy walked into Comer's Children's Hospital with a gunshot wound to the leg after he had been shot in the 6600 block of South Stony Island Avenue. The boy was listed in good condition. So there's a 13-year-old and a 14-year-old about 9 hours, not even quite 9 hours apart, shot in Chicago. Here's a 17-year-old boy, but I'm sorry if you're 17. I'm going to try you as an adult, as far as I'm concerned. Was on the sidewalk when someone shot him in the back. He was taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center in critical condition. Wow. A weekend in Chicago. A 13-year-old, 14-year-old shot. Not dead. That we can see. I'm very interested to see what happened on that train. Was that a concealed carry situation? A couple of guys walk up. You're riding the train home from work. They start a mess because it said they were part of a disturbance. Well, what kind of a disturbance there? Somebody maybe pulled on them, defended themselves. Maybe not. Maybe somebody just pulled on a couple of guys and blasted them. But that seems a little weird, don't you think? I don't know. Maybe that's commonplace in Chicago. It is Brandon Johnson's city after all. I don't know. Tell me what you think, Black and White Network supporters. You know, those surrounding suburbs, that's smart. All those surrounding suburbs should start passing those ordinances where, you know, the police. Now, what sucks for the suburbs is you got to use police resources now to watch the buses coming in. But if you see them come in, hey, those bus drivers, I imagine it's the same cycle of drivers all the time. A group of them, a different group of them, but, you know, I don't know how many, 10 different drivers coming in through there. En route, they're going to learn very quickly, well, we can't drop people off here because they're going to take the bus and we're going to get arrested. So that's smart by those surrounding communities to try to offset what Brandon Johnson's trying to do. We know the other day I did the video where he basically is stopping his own citizens from voting against the status of the city. The residents want to put it to a vote. Should Chicago stay a sanctuary city? Yes or no? Brandon Johnson panicked. The people around him panicked. And they stopped the vote from happening, which I think would have happened a little ways from now anyway. But nonetheless, he said, I don't want to hear from my own taxpayers and my own citizens. Wow. I mean, guys, you can't do better than this voting. Really? It's crazy. It's nuts. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.